Hello everybody and good evening. It is August 5th, 2005. It's Tuesday night and ta-da, I am here live. I just want to take a moment to welcome all of you who are here live and those who are watching on the replay. Hello and welcome. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and please make sure to leave a comment. And if you are here right now live, you can participate in the live chat. You do have to be logged into your YouTube account, which is something free that you can do. Let's see, let's bring up here. Perfect. Okay, I can now see everything. Today is, Tuesday. It's when we get our updates. So we have a couple of things that are occurring now. So the month of August, we have our in color sale, which is the 2025-2027 in colors. And that was on the thumbnail of today's video, a little blurb on that. I also had it in the newsletter that I sent out this morning. There's lots of products that are involved in that sale, from ink pads to markers to DSP, did I say ribbon embellishments? It's kind of a wide variety of products that have some kind of a discount related to the in colors, which helps show off how our products coordinate with each other. So the other thing that happened today is there were 3 new kit releases, and I think one of them actually is on sale because it includes in colors. If you haven't been over to the website, make sure to go check that out. I myself picked up the fall garland kit because I love a fun kit. As you can see over here, these are the paper flowers that are a kits collection item as well, which are really fun. It was really fun to put that together. Hello, good evening, Mom. So I hope that you have peeked over there, and if you haven't, you can scan the QR code. If you are watching on your TV, use your phone and scan that. I'll take you over to my store, or you can follow the link into the description as well and check out the in color sale and the new kits collections that were released today. Also, the Paper Pumpkin subscription period ends on the 10th, and it's going to be the famous farmhouse florals. I don't know where I got famous from. I think I'm just going to add more alliteration. Hey, Linda. And there is an additional stamp set this month, so this is always a great month to try out Paper Pumpkin because you're actually going to get 2 stamp sets, and it will make 9 cards. And it's like, I think the description said something like whimsical florals or something. The little graphics that I've seen are pretty cute, so I am excited for this month's kit. I also have, for my local people, my crop is coming up in September, and I also shared in the newsletter ribbon and DSP shares for the mini catalog coming out next month and online release. And I realized when I was writing my notes for this that I didn't make Facebook events for those yet. So I will be doing that maybe tonight or tomorrow. I'll make Facebook events for the DSP and ribbon share, so you can make sure to be following me over there if you are interested in some product shares coming in with the new catalog. I think a lot of people, I know I always appreciate a paper share, but I really appreciate the Christmas one because the Christmas DSPs, and there's some fall ones too, are always just so beautiful. And sometimes you're like, you just want it all, but it gives you a little bit of everything and really can help make your Christmas cards, your holiday cards, really lovely. And what's also great is usually the offside may not be super Christmassy. So I did do my pre-order this morning. I didn't go super crazy. Of course, I ordered catalogs for those of you that I see locally. Some people will have a catalog mailed to them, so those will come to you sometime this month. And I did 2-day ship everything, so I'll get it Thursday. The big purchase item for me was a fall suite that's in the mini catalog. I love a good fall suite, and I really liked the paper. There was a lot to choose from, so I kind of focused more on fall. I think I got 1 Christmas set. There's still a lot of time, but it was good to get a little bit of a pre-order taken care of to get everybody excited for this. The heavy crafting season is fast upon us. As it gets colder outside, we want to stay inside. So let's get started tonight. So tonight I am featuring the Beautiful Gallery Suite, specifically the paper, but But the suite. This is a suite that is featured in the annual catalog if you have that. If not, you can always find the products online. So I would just search for Beautiful Gallery, and that'll bring up the whole suite, and then you can check out the products individually. One thing to note, if you are interested in this, the DSP is part of the In Color sale because there are Cloud Cover and Secret Sea are 2 In Colors, and they are part of this. So this, I wrote it down, is discounted to $10.63. I think it's normally like $12.50. This is a 6x6 pack. This is going to be the sheet that I'm going to be using for tonight's demonstration. And I have this little sample here, but I do think it might be worth just taking a look at a few out of the paper of the full 6x6. So I had said last week that I was going to use some products that have just been on my shelf that I hadn't used. This was one of them because I kept thinking I was going to do like a workshop, and it just hasn't worked out. So I'm like, all right, we're going to bust this open and just start using it. And I think I found the perfect little fun fold that really complements this paper, and I think does a good job for any type of paper that's like this, very artsy. Like you feel like you could just frame these, which gets you kind of the gallery feel. Like here's this one here, and the backs are lovely as well. I'm just pulling out a couple. There's this one. That's the one I'm going to use. Oh, I love this one with the boats. I have a sample with this one. Because what my initial focus was, and then there is the house. This one I'm struggling with working with. I think is a struggle to work with the fun fold, but maybe not. I haven't tried that one yet. But I was focusing on more of the masculine prints originally when I pulled this paper out for when I was working with these. So I had like the boat, I had this one, and this is the one that I'm going to use. And let's see, there's one with a large pine tree also. I also have a couple samples. I kind of went, oh, here we go. And this one too. So I thought all of these were kind of like scenes that could be used for masculine cards, and I think when I talk to you all and just any stamper, card maker in general, masculine always seems to be a difficult card for us to make, and that's when I love to use designer series paper to take that burden off of this. Ooh, it would be very beautiful decoupaged onto something. That might be something I need to do, because there's a couple of those 6x6 sheets that I'm absolutely in love with, and I want to think of what I want to do with them. So let's just take a quick look at the other products. I mean, I am really featuring the paper with today's project, but I'm also have some samples that use everything. There is a embossing folder that has this cool pattern. I don't know what the folder is called. Let me see if I can. My mom's gonna be like, why didn't you have your catalog? Like, because I couldn't find it. Terrible, terrible. It's so easy. It's even easier now to use the catalog with the great online store. This is the Damask embossing folder, and this is a regular embossing folder. So if you have a Cuttlebug, this one, if you have that old Cuttlebug, this folder would go through that. It's not a 3D folder. We have these cute little pressed flower motifs. I hope that I'm on camera because I am looking at, yeah. And they're kind of a bronzy color, and I have some on a sample. There is this great basic beige ribbon, which is kind of a cotton ribbon, and I think we'll probably use it on our project today. And our card base today is basic beige. And then there are 2 bundles with this. So as a reminder, if you are looking at this product, wow, my camera is so crooked. Let's see if we can, nope, that's the wrong way. Here we go. If you are thinking about purchasing this suite this month, you would want to go through and do individually so you can save that couple dollars on that paper, because it's just the paper by itself discounted. They're not going to give you that discount in that suite number. So this is Gallery Blooms, and there's stamps that coordinates photopolymer, and it has this great kind of double frame. We have some images that will cut out the florals here, and then also some kind of like lacy type florals and leaves. I think I've used this before. I think I've used a few of these. I still haven't used this frame yet. It didn't work. It doesn't work with what I'm doing today, but I might be using this suite multiple times this month just to kind of to use it. And then there's a sentiment set, which is the Beautiful Motifs, which has this fun little squiggly, and I actually do have it out on a block. And I have this Celebrate, because there is not a happy birthday in here, and I'm making Celebrate. I think we can use for a happy birthday card, and that's what I'm doing, is have a masculine birthday card. But there's the Just a Note, there's a thank you. Thinking of you is always great. I might actually end up, you know, I'm actually going to change my sentiment to thinking of you, because some of my, I think that would be beneficial for the stash of cards that I need. I've done a couple Celebrate, so I think thinking of you will be good. So that could be used as a get well card or even a birthday card. Thinking of you on your birthday. Let's see, I need a different block. It's a little bit longer. Okay, so we just did a little live pivot there. There's a fun little squealer, and I do like this. This is like the motif kind of thing. I don't know. I love a good little grunge stamp. Let's see who is here. Hello, Donna. And okay, great. So glad that you are here. So those are the stamp sets. I think that goes through everything. The 2 bundles. We went through the ribbon and everything. So let's make this card. And what's awesome about this card and using 6x6, which if you don't have 6x6, what can we do? We can cut our 12x12 down into 4 6x6s. You're allowed to do that. Completely allowed. I am going to be live cutting today because I just thought that would be beneficial for the sake of this project. So I know I have the glare from all of the lights. I don't know what to do about that. We just live with it around here. So I have a sticky note with some information here. So we're going to do the card base, but besides that, we're going to need for just 1 card, but we're going to do 2. We're going to make 2 because we might as well. So our DSP is going to be 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. We're going to have a color strip. I'm going to be using not one of the end colors. I'm using the Mossy Meadow just because that was what matched into here. So this is 5 1/4 by 1. I already have those cut. And then the inside I have white, which is also 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. So the DSP and the inside are the same. Are you intrigued yet? We're going to cut our base first. Let's see. I will bring this back out so you can see it better if you're taking notes. So we need to do the sandwich fold card. So I'm going to, this is a full sheet of 8.5 by 11, and this is basic beige, which is one of our newer base color, like neutral colors, and I have underutilized it, but once I go in ebb and flow with the basic beige. It's like I stop using it and then I use it a ton. I've made a bunch of this card. Let's just be honest. I've made a bunch of this card. So on along the 11 side, I'm going to score this at 5 1/2, and this gets you. So that's scored, and then we're going to cut it at 4 1/4. So then we have our 2 sandwich board card bases. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut, so this is the front. We're going to cut off a 1 1/4 inch sliver from the front of the card. Okay? Do not be afraid. I am going to try to do this so you can see it. That's very brave of me. So I am going to be lining it up on 1 1/4 on this side. Again, I'm doing this for the sake of you all so you can kind of see. So I'm going to take my trimmer blade. You can do this a couple of ways. You can come up to your score line, or if you're a little bit more afraid, because let's see, let's pop this blade out so you can see. If you have a Stampinup trimmer, I don't know about other trimmers, see these little marks here and here? That's the middle. So that's what we want to line up our score with, either to start or to end. So let me line this up one more time. I'm going to go ahead and bring my blade up, and I'm cutting. So now I have this. Can we all do that? And then I can come through with my scissors. You could use your blade again, but I found for this small snip, the scissors is a little less stressful for me. And I'm actually going to retain this piece for my sentiment, or it's a really good scrap for any sentiment. So now we have this. We're going to do the second one as well. So again, I'm going to line this up at the 1 1/4. So I'm doing that over here. If I was doing this regularly, I'd be down here lining it up on the 1 1/4 here, because that's how I normally trim. But I can get to the 1 1/4 over here on the little left side. And if I want to start there, and I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to trim. So to say it's a fun fold seems a little cheesy, because it's really not. It's just a cutout. Okay, let me check comments. 6 by 6, da 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 da. Okay, Mom is commentating. Awesome. Thanks, Mom. That's my mom. Kimberly's my mom, for those who are new here. Okay, so this is our 6 by 6 paper. And here we are. We're going to cut this to 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. You have a couple of options. I am going to use the whole, I'm going to make 2 cards from this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it to that 5 1/4 first, and then do the 2 3/4. If I was not going to use both sides of this DSP and I wanted to retain a side, I would cut that 2 3/4 first and then do the 5 1/4. Because then that would leave me with a 6-inch long still, and whatever 6 is minus 2 3/4, 6, 5, 4, 3 1/4, right? And let's see, this is where we have to make a decision. Do we cut from the top or cut from the bottom? I am going to have to do this here. So do I cut the top of the clouds, or do I cut the ground? I think we're going to cut the top of the clouds, and I am going to do this cut down here. So I'm just lining it up, and I'm cutting it to 5 1/4. So then I do have this little strip here that could be used for actually a lot of different things. We could stamp. We talked about stamping on our DSP last week. Even though this is like the pretty side because of what this looks like, we could definitely stamp a sentiment on this. That would be really cool. Or use this as a little accent piece, maybe on the bottom of an envelope or inside our card. So we'll just toss that over there. So now we need to cut our the width, which is 2 3/4. And again, so then you have a choice. So this is the first panel, and then you have a choice. Do you want, 2 3/4 this way, or do you want 2 3/4 this way? I'm just gonna do this way. I don't think it's that big of a difference, but depending on your paper, it might be better to have retained the left side here. If there was maybe a tree here on this left side, I would have cut out of the middle this, half inch piece. So hopefully that makes sense. So when you are working with these like artsy type DSPs, think about the composition of the paper and how that's going to be shown. Because this is just going to lay on here like that. And again, this is basic beige. I am going to pull out my bone folder because I need a good score. That's a little funky cut there from my scissoring, from my snipping. So we'll just keep that here. So here's my DSP. Now, I'm making these are going to be very simple, definitely letting the paper do the talking. But if you used more of a simple paper, the gal that I saw made these, her panel was kind of simple, and then she had like a big sentiment with like a cute die cut situation going on. So you could definitely zhuzh these up anyway. But when we have this beautiful paper, I just think, you know, let's use the beautiful talent of the Stampinup artists and let their work do the talking. So you can see how this was the image. And we have our cute little, this is the color, this is the 5 1/4 by 1 that we're going to place right here. And you can use Tombow also. I just happen to have the old pink tape gun out. Whatever adhesive you choose. You know, you could zhuzh them up. You could cut this down 1/4 inch and give it a layer. You could, you know, you could really do a lot with this. But I love this card because we're getting 2 cards out of that 6 by 6 and retaining like 99% of the pattern. And you know, I always talk about our feelings with paper, that these 2 cards make us feel better about cutting the pretty paper, right? So now we have, so it's going to stand like this. And then I do have the white for the inside. So we're going to do a little decorating and sentimenting now, right? So far, pretty easy, right? It's a little scary to do the 1 inch. You can do it, I promise. It's not. Be bold. Be bold. So this is the same size as our DSP. And I will show you on some of my samples. I did some florals inside, but again, I'm making this for a man, so I went with the squiggly. And just kind of doing the little squiggly at the bottom. And I am doing that in Mossy Meadow to match our strip here. And there's Mossy Meadow in these, in the meadow. I know the light is not necessarily always great for that. So we'll set these off to the side and we'll do the sentiment. I'm going to do super simple. Nothing complicated here. I have the thinking of you. Let's see. Have I? Okay. I'm glad I tested that. That looks funky. There we go. I think this is kind of a juicy ink pad. Let's be a little bit more concentrating on I'm going to do this twice. And this is from the strip that I cut off one of the card fronts. And I lied to myself about not needing the trimmer again. So I'm going to just kind of eyeball cutting this down straight-ish. That looks pretty good actually, so go me. I'm proud of me. And I do kind of like, I did this last week, I kind of like the simple day, but get out your, you know, your little banner punches, or you could pull out a label, like a die cut, if you wanted a, if you were using a sentiment that had a matching die cut. If you wished. So what's cool about this card, and what we need to do, is that the sentiment can hang off if we want to. I mean, we could just stick it here, but that's boring. We want to have it, I think it's nice to have it hang off a little bit. You know, decide where we want it. I'm going to put it down here in these weeds or whatever they are. And I am going to do a little bit of ribbon behind. I don't know how long. I feel like this might be too long, but I'll just cut to, this is like 5 inches. But it's going to depend on your sentiment, okay? So you can't, again, we're doing this for a guy. And I'm going to do, I want this. Then I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to do this. Like that. Hey, that looks pretty good. 5 inch, that worked pretty good. For the size of my sentiment. They're just going to be kind of the same. Because we're not sending them to the same person. Okay? So they can, let's see, let's bring that one a little down. So I find with ribbon when I do this, I just run the adhesive on the back like I did. You could use glue dots, but then I'm going to be using dimensionals to help hold the ribbon down. Granted, I also need to make sure that I don't end up dimensional there, so I'm going to pop this open. Alright, we end up with that. And I feel very brave that I can do the second one. I can put my finger here. I'm so brave. No stick, right? And then we will put our insides inside. Insides inside. And just like that, we've made 2 cards. I mean, I've made 2 cards. And hopefully you also will be making 2 cards. Nikki's here! Hey, Nikki! I think you'll like this card, so you'll need to make sure to go back to the beginning. And there we go. Ta-da! Ta-da! So I was thinking when I was doing this, what would that look like if the cut was on this side? That would make it a little different. So that would be something to consider. So now we have this beautiful card that we could send. We could send it to a gal, I suppose. But we feel very comfortable, I think, sending this to a guy. Thinking of you on your birthday. Thinking of you. Hope you're doing well. That kind of thing. Yes, it is simple, Donna, so I appreciate you saying that. But at the same time, if you are fussy and want to get fussy, use maybe just, you could use the back side of this paper and maybe do some of those floral die cuts with it for, you know, our girlfriends or our mom or grandma or, you know, for gals. Guys don't want all of the flowers usually sent to them. So I have a couple to show you that I don't have sentiments on. So here's the one where I use the tree. So there's not even an inside. I didn't get that far because then I was pivoting. So we get part of that tree. Here's with the boat. I love the boat. And I used cloud cover there on the side. Could have used Secret Sea probably as well, but I think the cloud cover kind of brightens it up. Wow, the cut right there is whack-a-madoo. So let's just trim that up. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so here's a celebrate that I did. So definitely could be birthday here. Here's the other side of the boat where I used the Secret Sea. So this, were they like this or like this? This one was like this is the image. I think it's kind of cool to see them side by side. So here I just did like a little loop and then there I did the little whooshy woo, which matches the kind of matches the whooshy woo inside. I still did whooshy woo in here. This is Secret Sea. Whooshy woo, technical term. Okay, so then I wanted to use the big pretty flower vase because I was a little scared about cutting that vase in half, you know, because here's, you know, it's not centered. So I was like, but I do think it turned out pretty well. Instead of cutting the top, I made the decision to cut the vase off. So that's just a moment, and sometimes it's helpful to be looking at the blank card base, you know, and thinking, okay, what's going to be the best to look at? So if you can't visualize it, put it on the space to help you if you don't have if you're not processing what you think it's going to look like. So I did happy anniversary for these and just added some basic rhinestones. And then inside I did stamp the floral from one of the bundles. So the happy anniversary, and you'll see they're stamped a little different. I picked this up. This is the Blooming Phrases. This was an online exclusive that was released, I think, last month. So it is available online. You won't see it in the catalog. So you can search Blooming Phrases. And I ordered this because it has anniversary. But we can also do happy birthday. But we do happy anniversary, hello there, just because. And then I do like all of these. I almost use this on the inside, but I was like, oh, I should use the main bundle. So that's where I've got my happy anniversary from. So after I did that image, I thought, let me pull out the full 6x6 of the last one that I did. Let's see if I can find it. That's the next question. There we go. I said, okay, what if I did this one, which is a little bit more, not necessarily repeating pattern, but not a picture. Okay. So I again was thinking about the composition of that and what that would look like. And I don't know if it was, I think it was like, I might have actually cut the middle out of this one. I feel like I did that. And just kind of rotated them a little different. So I did happy anniversary as well. But on my strips, I was like, ooh, I should use that embossing folder. So there's a zhuzhed up little version there, and then I did use the embellishments in the suite, the pressed flower motifs. So I actually really love how the green turned out and they're all on basic beige, and then I was just kind of matching colors to the paper pack. And just as a reminder, when you get your paper pack, keep your insert because it will tell you the coordinating colors. So especially with these artistic papers, it can be a little difficult to tell, like, well, is that mossy meadow or is that old olive? Is it both? Look at the back so you can get that color coordination. And again, this particular pack of paper features a couple of the new in colors, so it is discounted. So you might, if you haven't picked this up, you might make sure to add that this month when you're taking advantage of the in color discounts. So I have lots of samples, as you can tell. Oh, and I did the flower inside as well, the mossy meadow. And just a reminder, you don't have to use the whole stamp. Here's my sheet. So there's the other half of my flowers, okay? So I thought these worked really well for, and I think I did these, this terrifies me, doing this freehand, but I think I did pretty okay on them. It just freaks me out. So you'll notice, so let's talk about these sentiments just real quick. So here we have that line, you know, I couldn't have it the full line. But what is great about these, when I did the green, I didn't ink up the line. Let me grab a sip of water. So let me just show you that real quick. So if you have a set like this, because we had another sentiment set for a while that had these lines. So this is the anniversary. So my tip for you, which I find to be the easiest because it has this little cool tail, which is great. So it looks cool. So let's, wow, I inked that way too much. Okay, that looks really, really cool, right? I love the little whoosh there at the end. But if you don't want the whoosh at the end, and you don't want to be bothered with wiping part of it off and risking getting part of that Y, because this is long, I used the corner of the ink pad and then just inked there. Okay, so there's my little tip on that. if you did ink the whole thing, you could come through and wipe that tail. But full disclosure, I did do that on one of them, and it wasn't, like, my chamois was kind of still, it was pretty wet. So when I stamped it, it left a little water splotch. So that's when I was like, okay, new approach. Let's just not ink that portion. Tail. Yeah, the little swoosh. Like, somebody's just really carrying on the end of their letters. But it is, like, really artistically speaking, and I like this for, think about a landscape card, especially for how long this is and how pretty that would be on a landscape card. But it looks great here as well. So that might be something for you to consider, especially if you're, if you like kind of the builder kind of sentiments, quasi. And I think it kind of covers everything. We have, so there's birthday, thanks, celebrate, hello, anniversary, just because, thinking of you. This one really does kind of have it all. Plus, this would be like a little two-step deal. You would do like that green and that pink or something, I think, to get a little layered flower. So yeah, these little flowers I think would be fun to play around with. So we might be using that maybe another time this month as well. So I hope, it seems like everybody liked those, so I appreciate you appreciating that. Appreciate you appreciating that. Yes, I just threw this away. Oh no! I'm going to turn these into probably thinking of you to add to the kind of the masculine pile. So just quick reminder again about the in color sale that's going on all month. Shop early, so while you have supplies. I had not got the blends for the in colors, these guys. So I ordered those today, and I didn't have all the ink refills, so I got those too. So I was pretty happy that I had been procrastinating on getting those items, because then I got the discount, which was great. And the new kits that came out, there's a cool, it looks cool, a fall garland. So it's like paper leaves. So I ordered that as well, because I think it would be like cute in my cubicle at work. And there are two other kits, that the cool like flower pot one, I almost got that, but I didn't. I'm hoping somebody I know gets it so then I can see it. And then the other one was a non-stamping one, which I think was a good kit as well. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember looking at it and saying, oh, that's really pretty. I just have, lots of cards, so I try to control myself. Ooh, my hair. And so for my local folks, we have the crop in September, so please let me know and get registered for that if you can come. The DSP and ribbon shares, that information was in my newsletter this morning, and I will get it onto Facebook probably sometime tomorrow. Oh, the last chance products were also updated this morning. So that is also a great opportunity to get some bang for your buck. And you're going to also continue to earn that 10% Stampin' Rewards for your next purchase on your orders of 25 or more, which does include the paper pumpkin. That subscription period is getting ready on the 10th. You need to be subscribed to get that bonus stamp set this month. And you also earn 10% back on your paper pumpkin. I think we get $2 in Stampin' Rewards for our paper pumpkin, which if you think $2 over 12 months is $24, which is a stamp set. So if you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin for a year, by the time your year comes, you could order a stamp set for free. I just thought of that right now. I'm good at that. So I appreciate you all being here. I'm going to clean these stamps. Next week, like I said, if you've been here since the beginning, I 2-day shipped my pre-order for the mini catalog. So we might do a little sneak peek of that. I don't know if I'll have projects with those yet. Maybe more towards the end of the month. I feel Stamp Club will probably do some projects with some new product. But for next week, we'll do something. Maybe I might just continue to use these bundles because I do want to use that frame. See, I have used these. These are really cool. I love this one. But I want to use that frame, and I have not used it yet. This thing here. So maybe a shaker card or something. It's been a while, right, since we've done a shaker. Maybe some coloring. I don't know. See what I feel like. So I hope everybody has a great evening, a great rest of your week. Just as a reminder to please like this video, subscribe. If you're not, follow me over on Facebook as well. I occasionally try to post over there. You can see the photos from the Christmas in July that I did last month. Those were really fun. I had fun doing the Christmas in July. And if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to reach out to me. You can call me, text me, email me, message me on Facebook, leave a comment here that you need to have a reach out, and we will take care of that. So I hope you please mail some cards out this week. It does affect somebody. It makes them feel very warm and fuzzy inside, I guarantee it. And we will see you around the internet, and we'll see you for sure, same place, same time, next week. So, bye. Thank you, everybody.